Bill Hybels gives this fantastic example of spending the day with God and spending the day in prayer is the perfect antidote to the number one energy killer, which is image management. Let me say this again. Image management is the number one energy killer. The vast majority of guys who are sitting there saying, oh, I'm depressed, are fucking image management. Okay, that quote, feeling of, depression, which is really just a state that you fall into, you went into depressed, is almost always related to your self-image. And when you're comparing yourself to other people, when you're comparing yourself to that imaginary audience, none of that has to hurt you at all. There's a knife through your leg is going to hurt you. Okay, there's going to be pain there, but your image doesn't have to hurt you at all. Okay, sometimes I feel like I'm screaming into a fucking void here. I understand how Christ and Buddha, must have felt in their time, not to compare myself to them whatsoever, but literally the imaginary audience doesn't have to hurt you. Your image doesn't have to be a source of pain, okay? Image management is a number one energy killer. It's a number one cause of guys feeling depressed. It will decimate you. It will destroy your state, and it doesn't have to hurt you whatsoever. Your image doesn't have to hurt you. Your thoughts don't have to hurt you. Your identity doesn't have to hurt you. The imaginary audience doesn't have to hurt you. None of that literally has to touch you whatsoever. It is only painful if you choose to ascribe emotions to that. Okay? Instead, you can just use your image as something to play with, as if it was an attribute to level up in the game of life. Your little Warcraft carrier or character, whatever that is. I've never played Warcraft, but these various games, you choose your guy. Your guy's the dwarf or the warrior, and you're leveling up your sword, and you're leveling up your armor or whatever. You're leveling up this character. It's the same way with life, okay? You're completing these missions in business or whatever, your character levels up. You're going to the gym, you're lifting weights, you're, instead of your sword leveling up, your bicep levels up. Okay, that's the way to play it. But you don't start wanting to kill yourself because you lost a little Warcraft battle, or you lost your sword, okay? Or you lost a fight and your character went down from 399 points to 398 points, okay? You're like, shit, I wish I'd won that, but you're not letting that sweat you. You're looking at the game as something to be played for fun. You plug into the console for fun, okay? That's how you have to look at life. When your console's plugged in the morning, when consciousness comes to you, you being the Holy Spirit is player one, right? The indescribable Holy Spirit that you can't lay any type of time, space, or condition on. The spotless mind that the Buddhists call it, Holy Spirit that the Christians call it. Okay, when the consciousness comes to you in the morning, that's you being plugged into the game. And when you're plugged into the game, remember, you're playing the game for fucking fun. When you're caught up in anger and depression and all this stuff, which happens to me, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I fucking forget. Okay, it's constant repetition to remind yourself, hey, I'm playing this thing for fun. I'm not gonna let my image choke me out at all. Among all these other things, right? I'm not gonna let. There's never a good reason to be downstate. Okay, so I guess the core of what I was trying to put out this week, I did a lot of stuff on focus, not letting significance choke you. How to manage your identity is the framework for you have incredible amounts of freedom within this game once you recognize, once you free your mind, okay? And this is more important than money or girls. This is more important than any of those external things. I mean, when this clicks to you, I hope to God that this clicks in somebody's mind, and you let me know in the comment section. You're gonna be sitting there at home in your room or wherever you're listening to this, laughing to yourself, because it's so fucking insanely powerful, and it's just been right in front of you your whole life. Like, you don't have to let the imaginary audience hurt you. You don't have to let you know, manage your image in the sense of having your image hurt you. Okay, your image is just one of the tools for self-esteem, and it's a thing for you to play with. Okay, but you took a shit today, and so did I. All right. Will Freeman, the personal development guru, didn't take a shit. Okay, but me, the physical human, did all kinds of boring human stuff today, right? Which is why I could never be a total sucker for myself. I could never, like this is what I do within my business. The image has a purpose, right? But you don't lose the forest for the trees. You use it for what it is, as an attribute that's necessary in the game of life and a fun thing to do. But you don't get lost in that. Okay? You stay humble, man. You stay humble across the board. You recognize that the creator put us in this game and we're lucky to be able to play it. Okay? And that's where the glory comes from. That's where all the glory and the magnificence is, from that creator. Okay? From God, who put us into this game to be able to play this stuff. Right? So you stay humble, you keep your pride out of it, and you get to be happy, man. When you are trying to carry such a heavy load, such a heavy identity, such a heavy image, it chokes you and it crushes you under the weight of it. That's why pride is the number one sin. Okay, all those 7 deadly sins are not some kind of a value judgment against humans. It's not, hey, you've been programmed with all these instincts because you're garbage. The 7 deadly sins are sins because they make you unhappy, right? Gluttony makes you unhappy. Sloth makes you unhappy. Pride makes you unhappy. Dishonoring your parents makes you unhappy. Murdering people makes you unhappy. Okay, happiness is built into the system of, being loving, being warm, treating people well, being humble. Okay, it's like the older I get, the more I see, like, there's nothing new under the sun. All this wisdom has been with us for 2,000, 3,000 years. Okay, and it's 100% accurate. It's 100% right. And that's the reality of it. So don't let your image spoil your state, man. Don't let your image destroy you. Don't let your identity destroy you. And let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the direction I've been going this week. I'm probably going to do another week of this type of stuff. I promised myself I'd talk more about spirituality. I'd talk more about advanced level mindset. And I want to continue with that. So let me know what you